My billionaire wife, trying to test if I was only after her money, pretended to be poor and lived with me in a basement apartment for 5 years. I always thought she was just a hotel cleaner. To save a little extra money, she even brought home leftover water bottles guests hadn't finished. She'd pour the water into a plastic bucket to flush the toilet and crush the bottles flat to sell for recycling money. She brought back those sample soaps and toothpaste from the hotel for me to use. She didn't even waste the unused condoms. Guests left behind. I thought she was the most frugal and devoted wife in the world. But one day, my best friend sent me a picture. Ethan, one of my students, landed a rich woman. In the photo, the woman sitting in the driver's seat of a red Ferrari was my wife to nail the partnership project with the Sterling Grand Hotel. I was working late at the office again until midnight. Every time I worked late and came back to the basement apartment, there would always be a warm light on. Chloe would have brewed some comforting sweet soup, insisting I drink it before sleeping. Tonight, I figured I'd be pulling an all-nighter. I took out my phone to tell Chloe to go ahead and sleep, not to wait up for me, only to find over a dozen messages from my best friend, Mike. Ethan, one of my students, landed a rich woman. Damn, she's loaded and gorgeous. Totally stacked. Seriously, a guy like you? Why stick it out with a cleaning lady? He was ecstatic, but I felt like I'd been plunged into ice water. In the photo, the woman in the driver's seat of the red Ferrari had big wavy hair, bright red lipstick, wore the sexiest little tank top, and had a bold, captivating smile, and she looked exactly like my wife, Chloe. Chloe always said she was just a cleaner and was afraid of embarrassing me, so she never wanted to meet my friends. Meet your friends? She'd say, looking down and tugging at her cleaner uniform. But am I supposed to go wearing this? When I offered to buy her a new dress, she refused. It's not easy for you to earn money, honey. Let's save wherever we can. I didn't have time to reply to Mike. My hand trembled as I dialed Chloe's number. Hey, honey. Chloe's cheerful voice came through. Are you home already? I'm covering a shift for a co-worker tonight. Have to work until tomorrow morning. Hearing the sound of cleaning machinery in the background, I breathed a sigh of relief. How could I doubt Chloe? She was always pinching pennies, bringing home leftover water bottles from guests, pouring the water into a bucket for the toilet, crushing the bottles to sell. She brought back those little soaps and toothpaste for me, even in used condoms. How could that Chloe be a wealthy socialite? But the resemblance was uncanny. I couldn't help but test her. I'm still working late at the office. Maybe I could swing by with some late-night snacks for you. Chloe's tone turned reproachful. Don't come over. It's so late. You'll have to wait for the night bus. Surely you wouldn't take a taxi all the way here. That's such a waste of money. Let's just save it. When it came to money, Chloe was always meticulously frugal. That familiar feeling put my mind at ease. Chloe. Oh, gotta go, honey. My supervisor's calling me. I mumbled an okay, hung up, and went to the restroom. When I returned to my seat, I heard strange noises in the otherwise silent office. Chloe, who do you like more, your husband or me? I held my breath, carefully touching my phone screen. It lit up instantly. Chloe hadn't hung up the call. She must have accidentally touched the screen and thought she'd ended it. I heard a man laughingly ask her, Chloe, why did you lie to your husband, telling him, you're a hotel cleaner? You're clearly the eyes of the Sterling Grand. His tone was smug. This beautiful night view. He's never seen it with you, has he? Chloe laughed suggestively. What are you getting jealous about? Of course I have to test him. He's the man sleeping next to me. What if he's just after my money, trying to take over my family's business? The man asked, aren't you afraid he'll find out you've been hiding this? Even if he finds out, what can he do? It's his good fortune, the luck of several lifetimes to have caught my eye. The man on the other end sounded deeply impressed. I really envy him. By the way, Chloe, I saw a couple of pairs of new XX brand shoes I like. Chloe readily agreed. Buy them both. I couldn't listen anymore and ended the call. My hands shaking. I put the phone down. I felt like I was drowning, suffocating, clutching my chest, and gasping for air. Chloe had been lying to me all along. She was the sole daughter of the Sterling Grand Chairman. Yet she claimed to be a cleaner there. She casually spent tens of thousands on shoes for some gigolo while giving me nothing but leftovers. And she had the audacity to call it testing me. I worked myself to the bone, always buying her the best things whenever I bought her anything. And this is how she treated me. I made up my mind. First thing tomorrow, I would confront her. Divorce. I couldn't focus on the project proposal at all. The partnership with Sterling Grand wasn't new. The person in charge had given me a hard time repeatedly, and I'd vented to Chloe about the stress, but it turned out it was something she could have resolved with a single word. Maybe the difficulties I faced were even part of her test. I walked the streets laughing bitterly. The night market was bustling with life. Groups of friends gathered around low tables, but I felt like a lost soul with nowhere to go. I remember the first time I met Chloe right at the Sterling Grand. She looked exhausted, getting chewed out by her supervisor, wearing the Sterling Grand cleaner's uniform. I stepped in, said a few words to help her out, and that's how we met. I sat alone in our rented room until the next day when Chloe finally returned. She jumped when she saw me. "Why aren't you sleeping?" Then she picked up the barbecue skewers I'd bought at the night market, frowning. "Eat less barbecue. It's expensive and the ingredients aren't even fresh. If you want some tonight, we can wait until the supermarket closes. Pick up some vegetables they throw out. Wash them well. They're perfectly fine. I'll cook for you." Enough. I snatched the barbecue from her hand and slammed it onto the floor. "What's wrong with you, Ethan? That's money. Do you know how many hours I have to work for that?" Chloe, who stayed in presidential suites with her boy toy and ate fancy French cuisine, was arguing with me over a few dollars worth of barbecue. I looked at her wrinkled cleaner uniform, a chill running down my spine, feeling nothing but exhaustion. "Let's get a divorce." I looked at her mockingly. Chloe Sterling, heiress to the Sterling Grand. "I'm not worthy." Chloe frowned. "Ethan, what nonsense are you talking about?" I shoved the screenshot my friend sent me in her face. "Spending all night fooling around with some college kid and still putting on this act for me? Does watching me get completely duped give you a thrill?" I knew I shouldn't be interrogating her. I should just turn around and walk away, but I couldn't swallow this bitterness. Chloe raised an eyebrow, crossed her arms, and sank into the small beanbag chair. The timid, meek demeanor completely gone. "Oh dear, you found out." She leaned back casually. "I've always been beautiful, and now I'm also very rich. Aren't you happy to have the privilege of being my husband?" She dismissed the years of deception with a few light words. She didn't take me seriously at all. I rubbed my temples. "Chloe, let's get divorced. I can't handle this blessing." Chloe instantly sat up straight, sneering. "Ethan, has work fried your brain? Do you know what you're saying? I'm the sole heir to the Sterling Grand Group. I have enough money for you to live comfortably for several lifetimes. You want to divorce me?" Chloe looked like she'd heard the funniest joke ever, laughing so hard she leaned back. "Without me, how will you afford a down payment? Forget buying a house. A simple project manager like you can barely afford to buy and maintain a car." She casually pulled a card from her uniform pocket. "Stop messing around. Take this. Buy whatever you want." I threw the card back in her face. Sneering, I said, "Chloe, not everyone is obsessed with money. We're getting a divorce." Chloe kicked over the small table. Her face hardened as she stood up. "It's always been me, Chloe Sterling, who does the dumping. What makes you think you have any right to negotiate terms with me?" She stepped onto the bed, yanked down the dangling, flimsy light bulb, and smashed it. "I'm tired of playing house anyway. What warm family light, Ethan? A man without money is useless." The moment Chloe left, my boss called. "Ethan, what the hell did you do? You worked overtime and lost the Sterling Grand project. You're really something," he said casually. "Don't bother coming in tomorrow." This boss of mine only knew how to throw his weight around and knew nothing about the actual business. I suppressed my anger. Pay me everything I owed. Just a job. Did he really think I couldn't live without it? The boss chuckled. "You really do care about money, huh? Don't worry. Someone's willing to pay the price to get rid of you." After hanging up, I stumbled out into the darkness. This dump of a place we lived here together for 3 years. Even though she smashed the only light source, I instantly found my way out and caught up to her. Another luxury car was waiting to pick her up. "Hey, Chloe, is this your husband?" The young man in the driver's seat scanned me from head to toe without reservation. I recognized him immediately, my student. Just that one look hit me like lightning. The resemblance, it was uncanny. He was just younger, more vibrant. Chloe got in his car, right in front of me. I didn't care about anything else. I tried to pull open the car door to talk things through with Chloe. The young man immediately locked the doors, smiling with amusement. Dude, if you break the car, you can't afford to pay for it, you know? Chloe watched me calmly. I got you fired. So what? Sterling Grand is your company's biggest client, right? She shrugged, smiling. Ethan, you can't leave me. We're not getting divorced. There's an empty villa in Mountain View Estates. It's yours starting today. With that, she told the young man to drive away. Breathing in the exhaust fumes, I first asked Mike to help me investigate why Chloe was wearing a cleaner uniform at the Sterling Grand back then. Then, I gathered all my documents and went to the company to resign. But I never expected Chloe to be so ruthless. Just as I reached the company entrance, my leech-like parents suddenly appeared, running up and grabbing at my clothes. What a disaster. You finally married a good wife. Why do you want a divorce now, Ethan? You think you're something now, huh? You made it big. You won't even answer your parents' calls. My mom sat on the ground, wailing and throwing a tantrum. My dad clutched his chest, looking like he might faint any second. They tore at my shirt, trying to rip away my last shred of dignity. We didn't agree to you marrying a cleaner back then. You said you loved her. Secretly gave her an $88,000 bride price. Now Chloe is the daughter of some big group owner with so much money. And you want a divorce? What is wrong with you? Are you trying to kill your parents? It was rush hour. Everyone stared at us like we were monkeys in a zoo whispering amongst themselves. Gold digger. Doesn't look like it. Let's see. Holy crap. Isn't that our manager? I wanted to escape, mortified, but there was nowhere to hide. My parents continued their wailing. I cut them off sharply. Stop it. I tried to pull them up, but they refused to budge. Eventually, building security and guards came over. They looked troubled. Mr. Davis, look, this is obstructing the area. It's a safety hazard. My phone rang again. Honey, did you see Mom and Dad? Chloe's voice was full of triumphant glee. If this keeps up, I can't guarantee what might happen. Hurry home. Okay, I'm waiting for you all at Mountain View. Ethan, if you had told us earlier that Chloe was a big boss's daughter, why wouldn't we have given her red eggs at your wedding? Your wife is successful. Why do you need to work? Quit your job immediately. Also send us $50,000 every month. Your brother is almost done with college. You were pretending to be poor and deceiving me from the very beginning. Since we couldn't agree, there was nothing more to say. Things had escalated to the point where we'd completely burned our bridges. There was no way I could peacefully live with her anymore. If you refuse to divorce, I'll see you in court. Chloe sneered. Oh, listen to Mr. Big Shot. We haven't separated. There's no adultery. You can't prove the marriage has broken down. What makes you think you can get a divorce? She said, Ethan, I'll be waiting. I moved back into the basement apartment, planning to find a new job before moving out, but I searched every relevant company, big and small, across Chicago, and no one would hire me. An acquaintance, a manager I knew, felt bad and subtly hinted that I had offended someone powerful, a very big deal. I understood instantly who else, but Chloe would try to ruin me. I immediately turned around and approached Sterling Grand's main competitor. Unexpectedly, the person interviewing me was the group's CEO, Ava Chun. As soon as she saw me, she smiled and shook my hand. I've been waiting for you for a long time. She said she was willing to offer high salaries to hire my former team. So I poached all my old colleagues who had worked hard alongside me. Ava gave us only one objective target, Sterling Grand relentlessly. During this time, some people were overwhelmed by the group's troubles, while others were eager to climb the ladder. Like Liam, he was impatient, constantly posting on social media, showing off, even tagging his location at the Sterling Grand headquarters. When I didn't react, he messaged me directly. Ethan, Chloe looks so captivating when she's working. By the way, you've probably never seen that, right? Heard you thought she was a hotel cleaner. Huh. Faced with tears of joy. Faced with tears of joy. I read it and laughed. When Chloe was keeping Mike's student, the guy didn't dare show Chloe's face clearly in his posts. Mostly just pictures of food, shoes, etc. But Liam was different. He believed he held a significant place in Chloe's heart. I replied, just watching her work? What's there to be proud of? Liam blocked me in a fit of rage. A few days later, He unblocked me and sent more photos. He had his arm around Chloe's waist, looking very intimate. Pictures from various angles, different backgrounds. I silently saved them all, perhaps because our offensive was strong, coupled with Ava's long-standing ambition to defeat Sterling Grand and become the leader of Chicago's hotel industry. Sterling Grand's recent reports looked terrible. My former company couldn't hold on and went bankrupt, causing Sterling Grand to lose its most important partner. Chloe's father personally sent someone to invite me for a meeting. Before going, I sent Liam a message telling him Chloe's father wanted to see me. Liam blew up, sending over a dozen voice messages. I didn't listen. Entering the private room, Chloe's father poured me tea, speaking amiably. Speaking of which, as your father-in-law, I've never actually met my son-in-law. That's truly unacceptable. Chloe has always been mischievous. I apologize to you on her behalf. I remained silent. He glanced at me, then continued, Son-in-law, you don't know. I started this business from scratch with Chloe's mother. We were very poor back then. I worked 3 jobs a day, and at night, I tried my hand at investing, studying markets, trends. Maybe fate smiled upon me. I actually made a little money. Chloe was still young then. I promised her that once we had money, I'd take her to the amusement park. She was so happy that day, so excited she couldn't sleep all night. He paused, then went on. Unexpectedly, her mother took all the money from our home and ran off. Her mother couldn't stand being poor anymore. She took the money and left with another man. We didn't have a cent left. Life became even harder for Chloe and me. I borrowed money everywhere just to survive. Worked from dawn till dusk. Chloe would go scavenging for scraps with the old man downstairs to sell for money. After school, she had to cook for herself. It was a tough life. It wasn't until my first hotel opened that our lives finally started getting better. She didn't mean to deceive you. She was just truly scared. I had never heard Chloe mention any of this. He said that now both he and Chloe accepted me. If I was willing, there would always be a place for me at Sterling Grand Group. We're family. Why hurt each other? He said, come back. I'll personally guide you. I thought, if Ava and I hadn't teamed up and put Sterling Grand under so much pressure, Chloe's father wouldn't have even bothered looking my way. Now he wants to play the sympathy card. Too late. I smiled. Out of respect for you as an elder, I didn't interrupt. Regardless, none of this justifies deceiving me. I was adopted as a child. Later, when my parents had their own son, I became the family servant, washing clothes by the river in the dead of winter, getting frostbite all over my hands, cooking over wood fire in the sweltering summer, almost dying from heat stroke. No one ever loved me. Only Chloe gave me love. I never looked down on her for being just a cleaner. I thought if 2 people truly loved each other, comforted each other, they could live happily. What I received in return for my 100% heartfelt devotion was deceit. I stood up smiling, looking down at Chloe's father. The old man finally dropped his facade, scoffing. Nice words. Chloe is my only daughter. If I die and you harm her, you could easily become the ultimate winner, taking everything the Sterling family owns without lifting a finger. I couldn't be bothered arguing with him anymore. If you have this much free time to chat with me, maybe first persuade your daughter to divorce me. As I left the private room, I saw Liam had sent me many photos. He and Chloe were extremely intimate, his neck covered in hickeys. See that? I just snap my fingers and she offers herself up. Ethan, the one who isn't loved, is the third wheel. Enough. The evidence was sufficient. I really had Liam to thank. Coming out of the county clerk's office, Chloe looked much more haggard. Liam puffed up his chest proudly about to speak, but Chloe slapped him hard across the face. Get back in the car and wait for me. He skewered away sheepishly. Watching him, I felt a pang of realization. Things easily obtained are seldom cherished. Me back then, him now, there was no real difference. Chloe looked awkward. Believe it or not, I did genuinely love you. I said, I don't believe you. Before she could say more, I turned to leave, but a car horn honked behind me. Ava rolled down her window. Getting quick. Business trip. Chloe's face turned deathly pale. Are you 2 together? Ava laughed, her words ambiguous. Miss Sterling, or should I say Ethan's ex-wife. You don't need to concern yourself with the personal relationship status of my employee, Ethan. After I got in the car, Ava rolled up the window, saying loudly, "Mind your own business, Chloe." In the rearview mirror, Chloe kept staring in our direction. "Thanks, Miss Chun. Don't mention it. I still need you to help me crush Sterling Grand." Back at the company, I threw myself entirely into work. One day, encountering Liam and Chloe again at a project bidding event, I felt a strange sense of distance, like they were strangers. Liam rushed towards me, wanting to hit me. "Do you know your parents have been constantly hounding Chloe for money?" Security guards stopped him. "Sir, this is not the place for you to cause trouble." Many media outlets were present, their noses sharp for news, immediately turning their cameras on Liam. Chloe was the one who brought them here in the first place. Now they want money. Isn't it normal for them to ask Chloe? "I don't have money. They know that." I looked at Chloe. "Miss Sterling, what do you think?" Chloe nodded wearily. "I'll take responsibility for this matter." She looked terrible, her gaze frequently shifting between Ava and me, always seeming like she wanted to say something but stopping herself. In the end, we easily won the project. This project was crucial. Securing it meant Sterling Grand's dominance was effectively over. Afterwards, Chloe found me. Her eyes were red as she asked, "I have money. I have more money than Ava-chan. Ethan, can you get back together with me?" I shook my head, my eyes filled with disappointment. "I told you it was never about the money. Unfortunately, you never understood me either." Chloe failed to secure the project, and upon returning to the group's building, she was intercepted by my adoptive parents. Tabloids, seemingly sniffing out the story, converged. But I had a feeling Ava had tipped off the press. My adoptive parents threw a fit, wailing, "This is our daughter-in-law. Heavens, we came all this way to find her, and she won't even give us old folks a place to stay. We were living in that Mountain View villa. Now she won't even leave my son a single house. She's heartless." They lunged at Chloe as soon as they saw her, nearly tearing her clothes off. Chloe's hair was a mess. She looked utterly disheveled. The tabloid news spun wildly out of control, becoming national gossip. Sterling Grand's reputation was already declining, and now the scandal caused stock prices to fluctuate, further destabilizing Chloe's father's position. He had intended to groom Chloe as a successor, but she failed to land the most critical project. Her father was furious. I heard that the next time Chloe appeared at the group's entrance, one side of her face was swollen from being slapped. She managed to coax my adoptive parents away with kind words, promising them money. But the very next day, my adoptive parents were in a severe car accident. One died, the other was seriously injured. The survivor was paralyzed from the neck down, forever dependent on others for care. My nominal brother finally showed up. He cried, claiming the Sterling Grand Chairman wanted to murder them. He had a college degree, but it was one bought with money. His actual education level was low, and his blunt way of speaking made his accusations sound chillingly direct. Facing the cameras, he sobbed. He said he wanted to kill me, too. He sent people with knives to kill me in a civilized, law-abiding society. Could such things still happen? The public was shocked, demanding a full investigation. The final investigation concluded that Liam, resentful and drunk, had sought revenge for Chloe by intentionally crashing into my adoptive parents. He was sentenced. The Sterling family remained perfectly untouched. Chloe's father gave a media interview stating, "Young people nowadays are rather impulsive. He wasn't my daughter's boyfriend, just an ordinary friend, and his feelings were unrequited." Sterling Grand will have dedicated personnel continuously monitor the injured party's condition and willingly cover all medical expenses. We invite public supervision. The media present applauded him. Chloe's father smiled, gratified. He probably thought this incident could salvage Sterling Grand's image and seize the opportunity to introduce Chloe as a successor through the media. But just as Chloe took the stage, barely uttering a few words, someone appeared on the roof of the group headquarters, threatening to jump. The person claimed to have been coerced into a relationship by Chloe's father, gotten pregnant, and felt utterly helpless, seeking public intervention. Immediately following this, women who had been victimized and threatened by Chloe's father began speaking out online. Chloe's father was arrested, his reputation ruined. His downfall meant Chloe lost her biggest supporter. Ava watched the series of news reports unfold, letting out a long breath. This old piece of trash is finally in the dumpster where he belongs. Chloe found me, begging me to help her. If I didn't have skills when you blacklisted me across the entire industry back then, I truly wouldn't have survived in Chicago. Chloe, you knew my situation, yet you still did that. I said, you never gave me a chance. What is there left for us to talk about now? Chloe just kept crying, saying she was sorry. Ava directly called security to remove her. Before sending her off, Ava offered some kind consolation. Chloe, at least you still have experience as a cleaner, selling water bottles, collecting hotel room samples. You won't starve. Haha. Chloe shot her a venomous glare. Later, I heard from Mike that Chloe was also implicated in criminal activities and went to prison. The next news I heard about them was that Chloe's father fell ill and died in prison. My nominal brother demanded money from me, not for medical treatment that year. Short on cash, he had pulled our adoptive father's oxygen tube. He wanted money for video games. You're my brother. Fine, don't support me, but you won't even buy me a game skin. Believe it or not, I'll go to the media and expose you. I slapped him and reported him for robbery. After all, my adoptive parents never legally adopted me. Legally, I had no connection to them. He was sent to jail for a few days. After everything settled down, my position at AA's company climbed higher and higher, and my salary became increasingly substantial. I bought a car, bought a house, achieving things that once seemed impossibly far away. My team members got promoted alongside me, always teasing me about being single for so long, urging me to find someone. But I didn't feel any rush. Everything else might abandon me, but the success I built with my own hands never would. Having one success after another accompany me felt like